This is a story about human endeavor, songcraft, the act of doing. When ideas strike, inspiration hits, and things seem to fall into place, seemingly from out of nowhere. My name is Kevin. I'm a recording mix engineer and producer. I just wanted to preserve something that's authentic in the act of doing and creating, and my subject is music. This episode, we're going to take a trip back to 2017 to Berlin. The month, November. The reason, a software company called Ableton was running their annual conference called Loop. I was invited to the Ableton headquarters along with a select few other producers to demonstrate how I use their software called Live. This is where I met Secaina. I didn't know it yet, but I was about to hear one of her songs called Spiritual Bounce. And little did I know, it was going to take me to London just 1 month later for 3 months. Here's the story of what happened.
You ain't had this time before. Bursting through all the doors. It's almost spiritual, no you don't hear me.
There I was, amongst about 12 other people and a few Ableton staff, just completely blown away hearing this song. I knew exactly what I would do to it, but I didn't want to presume that she needed anything. However, I couldn't resist. As soon as she got off stage, I rushed up, introduced myself, and then somebody came and tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Kevin, you're next." So in that moment, I didn't actually get to meet her, but in retrospect, I think that's the best way it could have gone, because suddenly she could hear what I could do. I'm not going to focus too much on the song that I played, but I think it's important to better set the stage for you and to help Secaina and me tell the story from all the way back in 2017. A couple of years before, in 2015, I co-created a song called Barricade with a partner from Sydney, Australia.
Hey, I'm Secaina and I'm a singer-songwriter-producer from London. This was my first time in Berlin, and I think it was my first time solo travelling, so I really wasn't sure what to expect. The airline sent my luggage to Budapest. Safe to say I wasn't having the best intro to Berlin.
Despite the fact that her luggage was in Budapest, it didn't seem to show.
I felt comfortable, everybody at Ableton was really cool.
In fact, everybody was floored by her work, which is another reminder as to why I'm doing this podcast in the first place. It's the act of doing. When a bunch of people are in the same room listening to the same shared experience, there's a magic there. She was up on stage, we were vibing with the song, I was totally inspired, and the room was just electric.
After meeting Kevin, I knew that the rest of the trip was going to get better as time went on.
And it completely did. We became fast friends. We needed to find a place to be able to share music quietly, and luckily, Ableton was holding the Loop conference over the next 3 days at the Funkhaus in Berlin. It was here that Secaina was able to tell me the vision for Antipop, her first solo endeavor as an independent after leaving a major contract.
I made Spiritual Bounce shortly after getting out of a music deal. I had the idea to make this short project, or an EP, called Antipop. Essentially, it's me deflecting from my former quote-unquote pop tendencies.
And that's the thing right there. Authenticity. You see, Secaina was taking back her agency. She was taking back her genuine self and then being able to express that freely. And that really comes through in the music. At this point, you're probably understanding how passionate I am about music and the act of making it, the songcraft of it all. So, in spirit of that, let's continue with the production. Secaina had done all of the production for these songs. I was there to arrange things, do some minor production tweaks, and to mix. The song begins with a sample. Now you might be thinking, this doesn't sound anything like the song that I just heard a moment ago. And you'd be absolutely right.
The main sample's from a free sample pack that I found on Red Bull's website, made by Bauer. Essentially, I just got the sample, twisted it around a bit, and try to get something new. For some reason, the sample kind of gives me a breezy feeling, like windy. The The drums are hard hitting just to have a bit of contrast, and also some 808s there to fill it out a bit and give it some body.
And for those who don't know, an 808 is a 1980s drum machine released by the company Roland, and silkscreened onto the machine was the label TR-808, which over the years has been shortened to 808. And here's what it sounds like, the low-end bass sound.
When I first showed this in Berlin, it was nowhere near finished. I think I only had the chorus, potentially, maybe a verse and chorus. And so it was a long way to go. And after meeting Kevin, he kind of actually helped me, or I say motivated me to finish this amongst other songs, which eventually became the Antipop EP.
After Loop ended, Secaina went back to London, and I was living in Spain for a little while, but my visa was about to run out. And it was a perfect opportunity to go to London. It was now December of 2017, just 1 month after I met Secaina. After I settled in, Secaina sent me the files I needed to get myself organized before we met in the studio. This gave me an opportunity to produce a little bit, arrange a little bit, as Secaina hadn't finished the song completely. As an example, let me show you some of the things that I've done. Since Secaina, as I mentioned before, did all of the production, here's the kind of things that I was adding. In this example, Secaina had a different idea for the traditional middle 8 or breakdown section, where the song kind of stops and gives the listener a rest. I'll let Secaina describe her idea.
With this song, I didn't want to add a usual bridge or middle 8. I had the idea of having my best friend write and read a passage that relates to us and our art collective, PesoLIfe. This was further to mark the beginning of a new journey for us, working together as PesoLIfe, the art collective.
Discover a way of life that is right for you. Ensure it comes from within and finally live it. Laugh with it and smile. The pace of life is better lived than it is described. You're winning. The universe has faith in you. Pace of life.
I mean, the way that poem ends and how PesoLIfe sort of echoes away, I felt like I needed to hold the space a little bit. So let me give you an example of what Secaina did in her demo, and then how I changed that to sort of hold the space after this poem.
You ain't had this sound before. Bursting through all
So that's very cool just by itself, but the transition needed to have a little bit more of an impact because we're literally talking about bursting through all the doors here.
bursting through all the doors. It's almost spiritual.
So I had the idea of sonically bursting through all the doors, and here's how I accomplished that. Where Secaina, in her demo, just instantly started the drums,
You ain't had this sound before. Bursting through all the doors.
I decided it would feel a lot more impactful if I just waited on the drums.
You ain't had this sound before. Bursting through all the doors.
And right there, I had a lightning strike moment, and I tried to capture that in a bottle. And within about 5 minutes, I had this.
Bursting through all the doors. It's almost spiritual. No, you don't hear me, so turn up your stereo now.
I mean, this song started to make sense to me at this point. I mean, it's literally called Spiritual Bounce. And that's kind of what's going on here. I mean, the idea is to get a person to move and to feel something in their soul, so I think mission accomplished. So let's continue with the story. By the time we got into the studio, we had a basic structure going on and all these cool transitions that you just heard. So now it's time to put it all together.
When Kevin came to London, we were able to work in Psalm Music Village, which was a studio based in Ladbroke Grove, West London.
For those of you who don't know, SARM is an acronym for Sound and Recording Mobile. Established in 1973 and then later becoming iconic after acquiring Island Studios in Notting Hill, London in 1982, they later renamed it to SARM West. For those of you still unfamiliar with this place, just think of bands like Queen, The Clash, Bob Marley, Led Zeppelin, Paul McCartney, Madonna, Frankie Goes to Hollywood, and a lot more. These days, it's run by a company called 360, and they're continuing the legacy with artists like Stormzy, Dua Lipa, and Rihanna. The production story continues just a little bit more, This part of the story is just more fun than it is musical.
Kevin and I also worked out of Oat Milk Studios that was based on Camden Road in Camden. Owned by a friend of mine, Aaron Horn, I used to work there as a barista and also had access to the studio underground.
No one would ever know unless they needed to that there was a full studio down below this little restaurant. And some of the coolest things were down there. I found a hard drive that was signed by Seal that I wouldn't risk mounting or touching for fear of ruining it.
Basically a basement. The location was very unassuming, so you wouldn't know unless you saw. I think most would assume that there was just restrooms down there. At the time, the coffee shop was ran by an Italian couple who sold coffee and food. So after tracking some vocals underground, Kevin and I would surface and have some of the most amazing food.
And that food was amazing. Almost 8 years on, and I still remember it as some of the best food that I've had in my entire life.
The cafe was called Apulia at the time.
But unfortunately, time has taken its toll, and it no longer exists. So to keep the memory alive, we're going to play Spiritual Bounce that was made in that basement, uninterrupted.
I keep my feet on the ground, steady moving in my lane, my way, turned away from the crowd. I be like everybody else, myself on my own. Ooh, been waiting for somebody like you. So come through, tilt your head back, get baptized like ooh. You ain't had this sound before, bursting through all the doors. It's almost spiritual, no you don't hear me, so turn up your stereo now. Soon be your favorite though, and too many an antidote. It's almost spiritual, know that you'll hear me, so turn up your stereo now. There ain't a mountain too tall, no competition there to face. I might only be small, but you're still compelled to shuffle in. Ooh, been waiting for somebody like you. So come through, tilt your head back, get baptized like ooh. You ain't had this sound before, bursting through all the doors. It's almost spiritual, no you don't hear me, so turn up your stereo now. Soon be your favorite though, and too many an antidote. It's almost spiritual, know that you'll hear me, so turn up your stereo now.
Discover a way of life that is right for you. Ensure it comes from within and finally live it. Laugh with it and smile. The pace of life is better lived than it is described. You're winning, the universe has faith in you. Pace of life.
You ain't heard this sound before, bursting through all the doors. It's almost spiritual, no you don't hear me, so turn up your stereo now. Soon be your favorite though, and too many an antidote. It's almost spiritual, know that you'll hear me, so turn up your stereo now.